These Autos, the Sheer Organic, and everybody else who's decided to tune in. Bit of a late one this Sunday. Had some delays, but that happens. Hope everybody's had a good weekend so far. Hoping that the restream is going to work. There we go. G'day, Otto. We're very slow through there. Give it a second to catch up. Man, it's cold as hell. Or cold as Antarctica or something like that. It's absolutely freezing here. Get some tunes going. Oh, yeah. Yes, so now the restream's working. So on Twitch and on YouTube. I just figured I'd join you for a bit of an afternoon sesh. Chat about stuff. Hey, nice to hear that, Unhazed. Unhazed Autos there, having some good luck with the dirt. Sweet baby May. See, most of you all probably know this as a Korn song. It's actually a cameo song. New Big Groves. How you going, dude? So yeah, with the subject of it being so cold, really make sure that your grows are staying warm enough. If it's not in your house, or if it's somewhere where the temperature isn't controlled because you're not living in it, don't take for granted that your plants are just going to be fine if they're freezing cold, especially if you're in soil. You need to keep a certain level of temperature for all the biology to keep going. So yeah, it's pretty important. And if you, I think I mentioned this last time, but if you're running LEDs, then you're not going to have a lot of radiant heat coming off them. So they're going to add a little bit, but not very much. So you'll probably need to look at something, oil heaters are something that a lot of people use. Or there's some greenhouse heaters now that are a good option as well. Grow Green Daddy. I went to wave at Grow Green Daddy and asked me if I wanted to report him. It's like, why? Why you got to be like that? Heaters and inline fans? Yeah. Something. You just got to use something. I never used to really understand the difference between just using something like a blow heater, like a fan heater years ago, and something like an oil bar heater. But there is actually, someone explained it to me, a while ago now, but yeah, exactly why. And it's that you're heating the air with something like a fan heater. So you'll technically heat the air quicker, but then it takes longer to soak into the thing. Whereas oil heaters, that kind of heating tends to like absorb through stuff a bit more. So if you look at something like trying to heat soil that's in a space, you want a source that's going to do that a bit more. And they don't tend to dry the air out as much too. Hello. Looks like we've got somebody on the YouTube having a watch. How do you do? Yeah, mini Queensland's not a bad idea. Just keep that humidity down a little bit and you'll be good. So that's one of the other things that can, in this sort of weather, your fans are probably running at a crawl, especially if they're on a thermostat. So you may have problems with humidity buildup and all the rest of it. Or you may not be wanting to run your fans very often because you're trying to heat that tent. Dehumidifiers are something that you should have in there, and most of those do have an element of them that has a heating section. It's kind of like a defroster. There's often a little heat bar in there. So they will actually contribute, apart from the fact that they're just an electrical appliance in there that's going to, through efficiency, radiate heat. Yeah, they're also going to produce a bit of heat just as part of their operation. So that can be useful. You can use that along with perhaps, like we said, a greenhouse heater or oil heater or something. Just keep it safe. Keep all your electrical connections up off the floor, anywhere where you're going to put water. You know, I'm not condoning anyone or advocating or whatever, anyone doing any shonky stuff. Yeah, that's one of the problems with dehumidifiers in the summer months is that they add heat. So that's where you tend to. I used to like to size the air conditioner properly, and then that way it would not be off so much that you would get a huge buildup of humidity in there. It almost acted like a dehumidifier. Yeah, that's a great way to go. That's perfect. And yeah, really great conditions there too. So 22 to 26, 50 to 55. Perfect. The epic Warrigange has joined us. Wicked. Thanks, man. Yeah, sometimes people find the afternoon ones easier to do. I don't know. It's not every week's an inspired week, but what we hear. I hurt my damn finger. I've got band-aids and stuff. Hacksaws be like, Grow Green Daddy there. I mean, that's not shonky, dude. That back in the day, that was how a lot of people got into it. One of my first ballasts was actually built by somebody. He worked for the power company and he knew how to build them. And so he would go to Tandy or Dick Smith or whatever electronic supplier isn't around anymore, and would buy parts and would like assemble them. They didn't have a case. They were just like kind of the componentry attached to a board. Good times. Greened Out team. The epic Greened Out team. And Dustin Green Genius, man. He's the fastest pallet forklift slinger in the north. He's lethal to all pallets within a 10 feet radius. So Baby May's upgraded the heater and it's got a new inline. Okay, yeah. See, this is the thing. You just got to kind of keep chipping away at all that, like, you know, boring environmental control stuff. But that's all the stuff that really pays off. I mean, and it's also one of those things where once you get your environment on point and you've got good genetics, then you really start seeing the benefit of all the stuff that you're already doing with your nutrition program in your soil. So yeah, it is a leaps and bounds kind of thing once you get that sort of stuff sorted. A lot of people have found that out. They've been chasing this additive or that additive, all that sort of stuff. And yeah, once they, for instance, got their temperature sorted or they were able to control their humidity a bit more, then magically all these other problems that they thought were nutritional problems kind of just went away. So yeah. Yeah, pew pew, maximum pew pew, Justin. Yeah, no, they're good guys. They're doing the good work too. They've put up some tremendous posts about our gear, which is yeah, really amazing. So much kudos to that. Green Genius there in Queensland. Frosty Green Trees. How you going, brother? AC Infinity. Yeah, I can concur, man. Like, I like their system. I like the way that everything kind of is designed to work together. I like that there's a lot of things included in what they do. It really looks like somebody sat down and actually really put some thought into it, which is, you know, kind of nice. Yeah, I agree. The system is never done unhazed. It's there's always little improvements that you've got to make here and there. But that's the sort of stuff that you've got to do. I mean, especially when the tent smaller kind of thing is always hard anyway. It's a very tight environment to control. Rooms, the bigger the space, generally it gets easier in a lot of ways. Or a bigger space can always be a bit more stable. So the smaller spaces are a real challenge. That's where people that have like really small tents, it blows me away sometimes the stuff they're able to do in there, because it's a tiny environment. Yeah, it got heat and humidity problems, just grow ties. The trouble is though that they won't ever finish. They'll just think, oh, it's gonna stay like this forever. I'll just permaflower. G'day, Vans. Yeah, that's how I test everything Warrigange, basically, man. G'day, Bodhi. Yeah, every tent's different. Every space is different. What's going on, bro? It's Sunday, so it's try and stay warm and listen to some funk music and hang out with y'all. That's what I'm doing right now, man. Don't really have a massive direction on it today. Just figured it'd be cool to hang. Listen to some Rick James. Critter, how you going, bro? Hey, that fireplace you sent me a photo of was cool as, dude. Emotionless. Well, I hope we can stir some emotions in you. 0.9 by 0.9 by 1.8, Dustin. Yeah, that's a little one. a modest tent. And then you've got ones that are, you know, a flex. You've got like flex tents, some large tents. Almost like, should that be a tent? Yeah, I mean, some people have, you know, 2x4s and, or, you know, even smaller than that. There's some really little tiny tents out there. There's actually one brand does like a mother tent, or a propagation tent, I think it is, and it's only 1.2 tall. Yeah, so it's quite compact. Yeah, see, there you go. 0.5 meter by 0.5 meter. Shoebox grows. Does anyone remember the for a little while there, I think it might have been on Micro Growery. This would be going back probably 10 years. But the computer tower grows were a thing there for a while. You know, it's probably not so much of a thing anymore, but yeah, the computer tower grow. And people were doing lowriders and various things like that in there at the time. Hey, we've got somebody on Twitch too. What's going on, Boosh? Where you at, man? You on Twitch? Yeah, you're on Twitch, bro. See if we respond on the keyboard. Oh yeah, multiple platforms. I freaking love this song. Yeah, 4x4s are good. I gotta say, I'm a real fan of this new one. It's a 3x5. I think Spider Farmer do them. Just a cool format, very convenient format. What's Twitch? Twitch is like another streaming platform, Warrigange. It's like, you know, people stream gaming stuff there. There's a few grow channels on there. I don't know. I just try and soak the HPO funk into whatever parts of the metaverse need refunkifying. So yeah, we're even on Twitch and OnlyFans. We're all over the goddamn. I don't post much, but you know, I do it. It's everywhere. Computer towers. Yeah, the computer tower grows, man. They were a thing there for a while. It was like, you know, people I think that was even like when I saw some of the first LEDs. Yeah, like exactly like gaming tower style ones. Yeah. Um, yeah, that was where I probably saw some of the first ones. Yeah. People would try to hide them in their office, all that sort of stuff. It was, yeah, stuff like that's entertaining, isn't it? It's just pictures of me digging dirt, basically. We like to joke that it's the dirtiest account on OnlyFans. I hardly post there, but I'm busy. There's stuff to do. It's a free subscription though. You should go and subscribe. Hey, we've got somebody on the YouTube. Hello to you. It doesn't let me see who you are, but hello. You see you over there. That's wicked. Nice one there, Critter. Yeah, there's we've all seen the old fridge one. There was a book years ago called The Closet Cultivator that had a pretty good picture on the front cover. There was even an episode of The Simpsons where Mayor Quimby had one in the closet of his office. But yeah, that's on the subject of those small areas, though. Obviously, that's a tiny environment to control. So that's where you may find that you're kind of adding bits, taking bits out, changing bits around for a while until you kind of get a formula that works. Once you crack it, it'll work really well. What am I talking about today? I don't really have a direction today, Warrigange. I'm just hanging out, man. Just hanging out. Ask me some questions today, dude. I've got new stuff, but I can't quite talk about it just yet. You can PM me though. Oh, and of course, exposing you to my hella corny taste in music. Quimby GGD. Yeah, I think. I mean, that was so many people's introduction was line something out with either whether it be alfoil, or if you're really savvy, you could get Panda Film. And kind of have it that. See what else we can get on. Oh, that one there's a jam. Cool tune. It's been a while since I've seen those. That was another thing too. It went all by the wayside. They obviously had the fan. Like when I first saw those, they were like a tube, and the lamp would go in there, and you'd attach a fan to either end. You duct it out, and they kind of worked, but they would do something weird to the light, like it kind of changed the spectrum or did something a bit strange. I thought anyway. And then they had the ones that were like the big shade, where it did the same thing. But they had ones there for a while that were like water cool, where the globe would sit in like 1,000-watt globe would like sit in a water jacket and would actually shine through water. Yeah, I thought that was probably the craziest thing. I never actually used one of them, but it's a pretty innovative idea. Running your tolerance is pretty close. Like in terms of you normally like to try and keep your electricity and your lighting a bit more separated than like right next to each other. But yeah, apparently they worked. It worked. There are some people that have said that when the gaskets went bad, it wasn't so fun though. Yeah, that makes sense. I always thought they did something to the spectrum. It was just the plants looked a little bit different. A lot of stuff's like that. You just sort of observe things. I think that's why sometimes when things have too many settings, yeah, I get a little bit not so much overwhelmed with it, but it's kind of like if you can change something so dramatically every other day, how do you really know what's doing what? There's kind of no homeostasis there. I think that's what all that cool tube stuff kind of came from, was like trying to make small areas doable. Yeah, otherwise it's, kind of you just get heat buildup and all those sort of problems. I think that's perhaps maybe why some strains that were bred years ago are maybe a little bit tougher than some things, because no space people were growing in was all that ideal for the most part. Week 5 in flower, yeah, for sure. I wouldn't really run any more top dress, because I'm assuming that what you've got there is like a week 8, week 9er. So yeah, you've just done some mega yield. I reckon that'll be good. Just let it ride out on that. You might get a little bit, because you're in light, so you might get a little bit of fade towards the end there, but it's no biggie. And you can always run the aquamarine and ocean potion as well, depending on what you want to do. I've normally been running those at the double in light soil, double scoop dose up until the last couple of weeks, and then cutting them out or cutting them right down, and then just running antimatter the last week. It's working pretty good. Emma St. Clair. Nice to see you, bro. Yeah, the double light in the box ones. Yeah, that was pretty cool too. Well, the kind of CalMag slash, got two products that provide calcium and magnesium on a more specific sense. But we don't have a nitrate-based CalMag. So I have the Ocean Potion, which has some micronized and also soluble calcium and magnesium components in it, along with a bunch of seaweed extracts and all that sort of goodness. And then the Stone Age as well also provides calcium and magnesium in a more sort of slow release form. So yeah, I mean, I recommend a little bit of it throughout. And with the Ocean Potion, I normally stop the last couple of weeks. So yeah, we do have stuff that provides calcium and magnesium. We don't have one that provides calcium, magnesium, and nitrogen in one product, but that's kind of by design. If you wish to add a nitrogen to that, which is not going to diminish Brix and also be well assimilated by the plant, you can just use a bit of the aquamarine alongside it. That's why they're kind of set up as a duo. Yeah, speed soft. Oh, yeah. Curtis Mayfield, hey? Not feeding it enough in terms of what, bro? Yeah, so I wouldn't be able to tell you on that, dude. The way I've kind of got my stuff set up that we do is you've got a good reserve there of calcium. So when we have soil tests done, they've shown that basically the cations that you'd want saturated with calcium are. So you've got a good reserve of that there. You've also got that balanced in a good ratio with some magnesium. So that's your base. And then on top of that, you can top dress a a little bit here and there of something that's going to provide your minerals and your calcium and your magnesium. Or, you can use one that's able to be applied by liquid. But generally speaking, we expect that most of those things are going to be coming from the soil. So, yeah, if you're using it in a cocoa, you would have to, because it would be part of the line. But that's different to what I'm kind of doing here. Yeah, it was good, Matt. It was actually, I had some car trouble and stuff, so we ended up flying up. And yeah, made it happen. Some people gave me lifts and all the rest of it. It was a good day. Got to meet Grow Green Daddy. It was nice. And in the loop. There you go. That's advice from someone there. Queensland was good. It was a quick visit, but it was good. But I mean, oh no. We lost Instagram because we were playing music. How about that? God damn. See if we can get back on here now. Yeah, that's what happened. That's okay. I'm just still going to keep doing it. If I get into trouble again, maybe I won't. Baby May's back on here. And Umbra, nice to see you. Anything that's too well known, the algorithm seems to pick it up. If I stick to the more sort of offbeat stuff, it doesn't quite pick it up. I mean, Roger Troutman should be more well known, but yeah. And well, the joy of starting the live stream again is that because it got kicked off, is I get to wave at everybody again when they rejoin. Double wave. Yes, that's what I was going to say, is that if you're in inert cocoa, there's not a lot of calcium in that. There's a little bit of buffering at the start, generally speaking, but not enough to sustain a plant long term. So you need to keep that available. So whether you be... Yeah, I know they kicked me for music, dude. It's all good. I tried all the royalty-free stuff. It just doesn't hit the same. So, It's certain stuff, though, right? There's certain ones that I just don't seem to care about stuff before. So anyway, yeah. So you need to make sure that you got calcium in regular supply. So whether you be supplementing that with liquids, because that's part of the program that you're using, or whether you're supplying that through your soil or something, you need to make sure that you have that available, because calcium's the truck kind of that moves the fertilizer from the yard kind of to the plant. Some kind of weird analogy. Basically, your plants can't utilize their fertilizer properly if they don't have adequate amounts of calcium and magnesium and all that other stuff as well. So yeah. But how much of that you have to use kind of depends on the program and kind of what the plants are showing, really. It's very necessary in cocoa, especially because it has a propensity to hold on to potassium and sodium, and so you can displace that with calcium and magnesium. You can sort of saturate the cations and prevent the plant from preferentially uptaking potassium and sodium and causing deficiencies. Yeah, I mean, if you're in an inert cocoa, then they're not going to. Yeah, it's not going to have enough reserves there, basically. And as those reserves get depleted, then the other problem I mentioned is going to sort of crop up. So it's about balancing that. I mean, cocoa is not, it's not inert like rock wool. It's not soil where you're dealing with a different arrangement. But yeah, that's why I'm a fan of different calcium sources. When we make the soils, try and get those from a varied sort of different places, so that you have overlapping sources of breakdown in different granule sizes and all the rest of it. What's up, Professor? So yeah, you can have a certain level of calcium in the mix, and then that ends up at a particular pH level, because you've got, you can't just pack it full of reactive calcium sources and have a pH of 9 or 10. So yeah, you've got to make that saturation up of sources that are going to provide, all the calcium you want, but also leave your pH and stuff where you'd like to keep it. It takes a bit of messing around. Hey, Richie. JR. Yes. I'm not quite sure how it would go subbing out CalMag for something like the Ocean Potion, because it's not really designed to replace something like that. Normally there's a nitrogen component to a lot of those products, but it does provide calcium and magnesium. So yeah, if your plants are actually needing calcium and magnesium, and especially in soil, it works very well. Yeah. It was just a different take on it, rather than doing a cal nitrate sort of thing with mag sulfate or whatever. It's got some sources that come from algae that are really interesting in a way, because it's kind of a calcified algae, so it's soft and very, very highly vesicled. So when you micronize that down to an extremely fine powder, which is suspendable in water, it then goes into the soil and is broken down extremely quickly. So that's part of the calcium portion, and then that also provides along with it a lot of trace minerals from the sea, which are good. But yeah, it is a different kind of approach, so it wouldn't be providing nitrogen. So if you were trying to bridge that gap, chuck the aminos in there with it. Go with something like the aquamarine. It's a good option. That's where I tend to find that just a complete fertilizer gets the best results anyway. So while our stuff is a bit modular in that way, in terms of you can apply one or the other, like I think Herb Superb works really well if it's used alongside Stone Age. Same as I think that the Aquamarine works especially well when it's used with a little bit of the Ocean Potion. The two of those things kind of provide the gamut of what plants are wanting, along with a bunch of other stuff to feed the soil. So yeah, rather than trying to provide kind of like a nutrient soup to things on a regular basis. I'd say it's probably Sony owns the copyright for Curtis Mayfield. Yeah, I mean, you can. There's no reason why. But see, I don't really mix the Stone Age up in water unless I'm brewing a tea. And in that instance, I wouldn't necessarily add Ocean Potion to that tea. But would I apply Ocean Potion within, say, a couple of days of having applied Stone Age? Yeah, I would, no worries. It's a different thing. There is some overlap between them, but it is a different thing. You should be able to find the page, Bodhi. You're on it, bro. Just click on the logo there. It'll take you right there. Yeah, so I would top dress if I was using Ocean Potion, say scheduled in that same week that I had applied a top dress of Stone Age. I would just still go ahead and do that. I wouldn't skip it. There may be instances that I would, if I had an especially large pot, or if the plant didn't indicate that it would need it. But it's not going to be over fertilizing or anything like that. It's not going to throw everything out of whack by using it. So while the plant will get the benefits from the minerals, there's also other stuff that product provides, which is still going to be of benefit. So I just go right on ahead and use it. Maybe more likely to use a maintenance dose than a more power dose. That's what I was thinking, man. I'm like, you're on my damn stream, bro. Yeah, so it's not just a fertilizer. It's providing other stuff. Yeah. All right. I don't know if I said hi to Dank then. How you going, bro? Thought it was going to cut it again for a second, but it didn't. So far, the tea recipes that I've been using have been working quite well. Yeah, it is Warrigange. I don't use, like, as a top dress, it's like 50 to 100 mils, if that, a lot of the time. So definitely don't use a lot of it. Goes a long way. And I suppose comparatively, the Ocean Potion would be not as strong as that in terms of calcium and all that sort of stuff content. But yeah, you get all those biostimulants and all the rest of it along with it. Yeah, shipping's not cheap. But I don't know, man. Like you order a kilo of protein powder off the net, it costs you $20 to get it shipped to you. So I don't know. Dirt's bulky. All that sort of stuff's bulky. Couriers charge what they charge. Yeah, that stuff definitely. I mean, shipping and all that sort of stuff definitely has gone up. We don't recommend. Well, our stuff isn't really designed to be mixed up and left in a reservoir. Arguably, any organics, real organics, are just going to gunk up and turn to biofilm in a tank. So our supplements are recommended to be mixed and used. And generally speaking, with our stuff, you're using a lot of water. So it doesn't really work too badly for most people. If you'd like to have a look at the programs and stuff, they're on the website. They sort of outline a bit about watering, a bit about all those sort of thoughts on there. But yeah. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend trying to keep our stuff aerated for anything longer than like 48 hours. And you're going to get your best results, I think, by just mixing and using any kind of organics like that. Hey, Jimbo Baggins. 1 handful to 3 handfuls. Yeah. Well, 50 mils is about one of those small protein shake, like protein powder scoops, which is normally what I'll use. But yeah, I mean, there's times where that might be too much. It really can depend on the plant. Some of them are kind of, they'll take anything you can throw at them, and other ones are a bit more sensitive. But yeah, I mean, a couple of times throughout, it's really all you should need to do. And you should, like, trying to use it at the same rate as Herb Superb can be problematic. It's easier to just amend harder at the start. Slapper, what's going on, dude? Yeah, you're going to have that problem, Bodhi, because you're dealing with things that are going to accumulate biofilm, dude. So this has been our experience. It's the trouble with trying to liquefy things that are often not meant to be liquefied. But yeah, so that what I do when I'm applying the supplements, I mean, this is the soluble supplements, so things like the microbes or the Aquamarine Ocean Potion, Green Supreme, those sort of products, is I basically just mix them up and use them as a drench that day. And then on subsequent waterings in between feedings, should I need to do so, I'll just use pure water. And that works out quite well, especially in a well-amended soil. It's a nice balance there. Maybe I might chuck a bit of Mojo in with the water in between. But yeah, not always. I believe Warriganj uses a paint stirrer to keep his all mixed up. Yeah, or a protein shaker. We'll actually have oh no, we'll actually have restocks of the Waken shakes very soon with an all new design on the outside of it. It's pretty cool. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's what GGG needs, is another 10-foot monster that takes a long time to finish flowering. Yeah, the newer ones look cool. Just a bit of a different design. I did the other one quite quickly before an expo one time, and then yeah, I sort of had a better one done. Be more colours too. Some different colours. We had requests for different colours. But yeah, that's definitely a convenient way to mix up the additives for me anyway. Is just fill up the vessel, bucket or whatever you're going to use. Take 500 mils out of that, put that in the shaker, put whatever soluble things I'm going to use that day into the shaker, shake it up, pour it in the thing, rinse it out in the bucket a couple of times, tip it out. And Bob is your uncle. GGD's got two. Yeah, nice. There you go. Who knows though, dude? You won't know till it's a bit older. Just let that run a bit. You don't know if it's one or not, dude. Alrighty. I said about heating a couple of different things. Wow, man, I cannot believe how long you managed to veg stuff out in that. So yeah. Okay, so you only just put a couple of them through. All right, well, see how the experiment comes out. Nice. Yeah, well, I hear good things about it. I mean, a lot of people have spoken highly of it. It's a bit of a mythical one. There must have been various different forms of it that I've seen over the time. Yeah, so be interesting to see what the one you have is, how it turns out. Whether it's got those sort of classic flavors. 6 weeks in a solo cup, and then yes, okay, that's a long time, dude. The last time I bought solo cups, actually, I felt like I got gypped. I didn't realize that they had a paper version now. I thought they were the good old plastic ones, and yeah, it was all these paper ones. They're okay, just don't last quite as long. Start breaking down. Yeah, get 3 months of veg, 3-month veg, 8 to 9 month flour. Anyway, it's good to see that some people are trying to keep these things alive because they're not the easiest ones to do. Hello to Seahorse and Seacliff. It won't let me wave to you both simultaneously, so hello. I'll do it physically. But yeah, I mean the starter sorb it performs pretty well. I mean, I'm not sure if I'd necessarily put 6 weeks in a solo cup on the packet, but I've seen GGD do it enough times, and I've veg things out for a long time in it. It's a capable sort of a blend, that one, but yeah. Don't, dude. Just we know you can do it. We all know you can. So there's no need to. You don't need to impress us. It's okay. Veg for a lifetime. Lifetime of vegetative. Never flowering. Like the lamp's not allowed to be set to flower. Even you put autos in there, and even they don't flower. They just continue just to grow. Magic. Yeah. We're just teasing, man. We're joking. We know you'll get it. Yeah, I've seen that plenty of times, Oregon, in terms of a lot of people used to keep them for years and years and years. I think you do get more genetic drift doing it that way. Not sure that it's maybe the best way to hold on to genetics, but I've seen it done enough times over the years to know that it works to at least a good level. Fresh GGD would re-veg an auto, yeah. Yeah. I find if you're going to keep plants in kind of perma-veg, that's where fabric pots I find are especially helpful. Just because that root pruning seems to get you a bit further along. The plastic pots, you seem to hit the wall a lot faster. So, I mean, even if you get the smaller fabric pots, yeah, that seems to be something that definitely does help. And you seem to be able to keep your other plants in smaller pots. And they might look a little ridiculous, but yeah, they'll sort of they'll still work. Everyone always puts it. Looks like all the connections today are having issues. Sometimes the problems with the male plants is that they'll just decide to flower anyway, and then there's not a lot you can do to stop them from going down that. Yeah, if you've ever tried to keep one for a very long time, sometimes they'll just kind of expire, all of them all at once, almost like what bamboo has been rumored to do. Other times that doesn't happen. But yeah, it's hard to keep them going for a long time. You seem to have to sort of restart them again on a semi-regular basis. Definitely the harder one to select, though. It's easy to select the other ones. You know what you're looking for. That's a good response, GGD. Yeah, we'll see. I'm interested to see how some of this stuff from Hawaii goes that Warriganj got hold of. Oh yeah, wicked. You know, actually, my mum's got a couple of nice pineapple plants around the side of her house. That yeah, it's amazing what a well-ripened homegrown pineapple tastes like. It's pretty awesome. Should grow good in that Gorilla Grow dirt. It's fun stuff. I've actually got a lot of fruits and vegetables and stuff in that at the moment. And it's like probably, I don't know, it's hard to pick a favourite. I like them all, but that one I do like. Nice. I wonder if any of those have any Kona in them. That was the one that I had some experience with, was Kona Gold. And then there was another one too that they had. Oh, I think it was just like a Kona Cross. But yeah, there was definitely a Kona Gold that I got through a friend. That was, yeah, it was nice in terms of tastes. I think the form and the growability of it or whatever, it could have been easier to grow, was the thing. But they were a nice looking plant and looked like they had the potential to yield well if you could stop them from developing botrytis. Rhino, what's going on, man? And here we grow. G'day, Matty. What's going on, man? Just a quick arbo one today. Yeah, well, that's what I thought. I mean, the pineapples that we grew in the dirt tasted really, really, really good. All the fruits and vegetables that I get out of the dirt always taste really, really good. So yeah, we actually had some analysis done again recently, and it all came through really, really good. Yeah, nice. You'd have all sorts of stuff, Oregange. And get out of greened out team, faded out, and Connor. Yeah, well, Gigi, Glue was definitely one of those ones that was super. That was almost like 2017. If you went to any dispensary in Oregon, it was all that a lot of places had on the menu. Seemingly, was kind of what they were pushing. Oh, shots fired! Yeah, that's the trouble with what the genetics of this particular one are, but the Gorilla Glue kind of thing is a polyhybrid anyway, and it's more of a clone only, and so a lot of these clone only plants are kind of lightning in a bottle. They're not stable in any way, shape, or form, and so you get lucky and you'll find phenos, and if you run enough seeds, you'll definitely find cool stuff. But yeah, the idea of getting a likeness to the original plant in a seed form is pretty unlikely. It can still be good, but and there's potential there, but it's unlikely. And that's just the way genetic variation works. Yeah, it's the luck of the draw kind of thing. Likes breeds likeness, but if there's no stability to begin with, then you don't. If there's no stability to begin with, then you don't have much to chase. You can just kind of chase the flavors and things you want, but you've kind of got to be able to reproduce stuff for it to be a line. That's where, yeah, seed versions of clone only stuff can be very difficult.
Yeah, this is a story of famous dog. But the dog that chases its tail will be busy. These are trapping dogs. Rhythmic dogs.
Fair enough. I've definitely had like the clone version of it in licensed dispensaries. But yeah, I when you get it and it's been grown from a seed, it seems like everyone's GG is a different one. So it obviously was grown from something that came from that, but at the same time, it's Well, breeding's difficult because you're dealing with, it's not a linear equation. So you cross things together and then it is unpredictable in what happens. You can predict certain elements of it, and there's Punnett square and these different things you can do to kind of leverage that mathematical equation in your favor. In general, it's just likeness breeds likeness, which is why if you have something that's stable to begin with, the equations are a bit more linear than if there's a bunch of, the less ingredients there are, the less varied the outcome can be. So your breeding is a difficult thing, especially if you're trying to get things that are somewhat stable. And yeah, 1,000 seeds would equal at least 1,000 expressions every. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of variation in a situation like that because you've got a lot of ingredients in there. Dairy farming doesn't look easy. Yeah. The one, I think the video you put up the other week of the guy that had gotten the spreader clogged because he overfilled it. That one hit. That one hit pretty hard. Like that one there, I was like, oh, I can definitely feel that one in my bones. I've definitely like overfilled things before and had to shovel them out, or yeah, all that sort of stuff. Just trying to do things quicker. It ends up taking you twice as long. Try to take a shortcut. I like his stories too, Warrigange. They're a good insight. The favorite part of that bit though was when it was like he clogged it, then you just like wheelied out of there. Like you could hear the tire chirp. Bye. That was the best bit. Hey, Catnip. Oh, all right. Oh well. I'll hang out for a while longer and then I'll skedaddle. Leave you with your afternoon. I'll go and cause some mischief around here. Yeah, that was perfect. It was perfect because like you saw it and he was shoveling it out, and then you just heard like this bye, and then the car ripping up the street. Timing is everything in comedy, especially. You couldn't have timed that better. Consequently, this is the song that basically most of Snoop Dogg's songs came out of, at least in the early days that were any good. The Atomic Dog. Yeah, I'm going to run too. Well, my weekend's been all right. I mean, dealing with water pump problems and a bunch of stuff like that. So frustrating, and continued problems with my car's clutch, various things like that. So anyway, but yeah, frustrating things like that aside, yeah, going all right, dude.
Everybody's up on the way over here. We'll be kicking it this afternoon. Yeah, this gonna be
Cool.
the first that we all got together. Oh yeah.
Well, hopefully throughout this next week I'll have some more updates. Catch you, Warrigange. Yeah, the joys of, dude. That's okay. Some weeks are just like that. Yeah. All right. I'm going to call it. Thanks, guys. Catch you on the next one.
See, they taught me how to work this recorder. And they don't know we talk. They don't know we discuss this shit. No, they ain't never heard none of us talk. My dogs. Come on in here, my dog. What's happening? Hey, get your ass on in there. Yeah. We gonna tell these stories and put it on this here tape. Ain't nobody gonna believe this shit.